Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Paul and I will be discussing the technology gap today. Gibson and Sodom in 2014 discuss how the current landscape of knowledge delivery in higher education has seen remarkable changes from past decades with a shift from traditional models to an emphasis on market demands. Because of this, higher education institutions also place a heavy emphasis on incorporating technological skills into curriculum and classroom delivery. So the question is, what are the benefits of traditional and non-traditional methods? What are the weaknesses? What methods will work for your class? Exploring a traditional perspective on topics like mobile learning, social networking, personal learning networks, augmented reality, virtual reality, gamification, and big data analytics, as well as digital age perspective, is important. So, let's start with the digital age perspective on mobile learning and the benefits. Mobile learning allows students to create their own understanding beyond the classroom. Azarani and Laxman 2016 discuss how mobile learning is more than just using your phone because it is also a solution to access information. Students can personalize their learning with ease. Not only can mobile learning help the communication, but it can also add a creative aspect to the course and help with collaboration when the right tools are used. On the other hand, traditional learning institutions will need to decide what they believe mobile learning can be used for and if this is actually beneficial. They may see mobile learning as a challenge because Azarani and Laxman 2016 state that technical and administrative challenges may arise when an innovative scheme is introduced. Teachers and administration will have to develop ways in which mobile learning can be used, as well as guidelines to go with mobile learning. Stakeholders may be skeptical of mobile learning because of all the work that will need to go into it, but if the benefits can be seen, it might be worth it. Institutions will have to increase faculty training to see the capabilities of mobile technology. They will have to make sure all technology can be accessed through mobile devices. Students and staff will have to familiarize themselves with learning opportunities for mobile devices, and devices will need to be purchased for students who do not have any. These are just a few of the steps that would need to be taken if mobile learning was implemented in a school. Next, a digital age perspective on the benefits of social networking. It can be a great way for students to learn, share, and find information. Gupta 2014 discusses how these tools have a tremendous effect and change on the way people search, find, and collaboratively develop and consume information and knowledge. I believe that with these resources, students will be able to enhance their learning by being given various activities that include the use of social media tools. Mahid 2014 states that tools like this provide an on-demand application for students to retrieve and share knowledge in a distributed environment. This supports the new approach to learning that is more of a demand pull rather than a supply push mode of building up an inventory of knowledge in students' heads. Students are now aiding in their own learning process. They can create their own personal learning space for themselves with the use of social media. Knowledge does not stop in the classroom. It is everywhere for them. On the other hand, a traditional perspective, social media today seems like it could be useless. Why do we have to share all the information with everyone? Then, of course, privacy is a concern. Why should anyone be able to access information that we are looking at? There are many reasons why institutions can simply say no to social media tools, but institutions need to decide if the benefits outweigh the negatives. Why shouldn't we allow students to utilize these in the classroom because they do when they are in the outside world? Better yet, why can't we teach them to become better, responsible citizens on these sites? I think that people may be worried to implement something that can expose so much, but then look at all there is to learn. In a digital age perspective on personalized networks, we see that they are meant for teachers to interact with others, to stay current and motivated, as well as seek out others in the field to gain information. Way 2002 discusses how PLNs include online resources to help access more information, and discusses how PLNs include online resources to help access and broaden information on a global scale. PLNs incorporate technology and social media. Twitter and Facebook can be used to help grow PLNs and access information. Participants get to choose the places, the resources, and the people to find information. So learning is truly personalized. On the other hand, a traditional perspective, might be worried about the integration of technology. That being said, if they do not accept social media or technological tools of the like, it would be hard to be part of a PLN. I believe that from a traditional perspective, PLNs would be more like sharing out the resources that colleagues use from professionals in the field, but not social media or technology, and more so from the use of textbooks. Next, augmented reality, digital age perspective, is that it helps supplement learning. Higgins 2017 discusses how augmented reality can work by using a smart device to insert virtual objects into learning. Because of this, it would be necessary to understand the benefits of mobile learning and the applications that can be used for mobile learning. It would also be necessary to learn how to augment reality through the use of various technologies like QR codes or bit.lys to take students to websites to view information. On the other hand, on a traditional perspective of augmented reality, teachers will have to learn how to utilize these technologies in the classroom, as well as make new guidelines. To go further, ethical issues could come along with the use of such devices. Students could start to disregard learning by being distracted and not being present. Teachers might not know when a student is paying attention, and they might stop making eye contact and seem unprofessional. Next, virtual reality and the digital age perspective. Everything is imaginary. Ludlow 2015 explains how virtual reality includes learning environments that are made by computer-generated activities. Students can utilize virtual reality to practice new skills in a setting that they might not be able to do so otherwise. They can participate in simulated environments to test how they might respond to certain situations to prepare them for real-world experiences. On the other hand, from a traditional perspective, virtual reality may be a big leap. Traditional instructors may rather have students participate in hands-on learning or lecture. However, this may not be possible if a certain environment or setting is not accessible, and lecture may not be the best way to prepare a student. If a traditionalist can see the benefits of virtual reality, I think they would welcome the use of this in the classroom. But once again, there can be some drawbacks, like teachers needing to receive training to create the environments to utilize them in the classroom. Next, a digital age perspective on gamification. Sanchez-Mena and Martini-Pereno describe gamification as not just limited to the use of technology-driven games for educational purposes or educational video games, but educational video games account for a big percentage in educational settings. Gamification can be great from a digital age perspective because it can increase student attention to learning materials and student motivation. Students can have fun while engaging in activity, and in a way, it can be easier than traditional learning. Traditional teachers may face issues when deciding whether or not to implement new teaching methodologies like gamification. They may look into the outcomes, benefits, and costs. They may be hesitant to create such games because students may find them boring. Teachers may not have time to design or plan activities or have the resources to create such games. To some, it may seem like a waste of time. There may be content areas where it can work to simulate certain environments, but other content areas might not be able to see the same benefits. Therefore, it is best to leave it up to the teacher to decide. A survey to maybe get a feel for gamification in the population of the class might be beneficial to have students fill out. Sanchez-Mena and Martini-Pereno state how teachers will need more time, training, and economic support. They will have to decide the appropriate classroom setting, subject, and make sure it does not disturb the atmosphere of the educational setting. Lastly, for a digital age perspective on big data analytics, Park 2016 discusses how learning analytics help instructors make decisions based on data that finds patterns in student learning and their progress. Learning has changed, and because of this, data can be collected online. Technology allows us to see how long a student took on a question or check their interactions and their time on task. We can find out a lot about student learning and how it relates to student understanding with data analytics. For more tech-savvy digital age perspective instructors, data analytics will be something they would find valuable after they learn how to record the data. From a traditional perspective on data analytics, Mercerone, Bilkstein, and Seaman 2015 discusses how learning analytics has had a considerable challenge before it because we are entering a phase of increasing complexity and constantly shifting the education ecosystem. Data analytics might be hard for teachers who are more traditional because if online learning management systems are not used, the data will be limited. If traditional teachers start to use technology in the classroom, they will see that data analytics can be used to impact education in meaningful ways. The online downside to data analytics is that traditional instructors may need to coordinate and collaborate more with the learning analytics community to help learn what to do. So, for a meeting of the minds, there may be an age gap between those who utilize technology and those who do not, because after years without technology, teachers created lessons that work for students, so why should we reinvent the wheel? However, teachers need to adapt to student needs, and right now, students are using technology more than ever. Because of this, instructors need to be able to relate to student lives and make connections to learning. Connections can be formed when we help students learn in ways that they are familiar with and enjoy. So, there is a time and a place for traditional ways of learning as well as digital ways of learning. I think that both are very important because a blend of the two works well. It is not necessary to always use one or the other, but to supplement each other. I think that an easy way to do this is by implementing the SAMR model. To start with, substitution of technology does not change the way you do something. You just simply substitute it for technology. Then you can move over to augmentation when you get comfortable and substitute something that you do, but also give it a little bit of an improvement. Then use modification to redesign the whole task in a better way. And lastly, for redefinition, you can do something you've never done before without technology. All in all, teachers can bridge the gap if they slowly start to integrate technology and collaborate with their peers. It may take some work up front, but it'll definitely be worth it. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.